Welcome everyone. It's your boy GarnetJr coming at you today. Today is gonna be an exciting day, right? Today we're gonna have a special young lady coming on today who requires, a little information on getting her business sorted out, right? Her name is Rhule, right? She wants to start a new business, right? She is leaving from the job world and she's getting into the entrepreneurship world. I'm very excited for her. So we're gonna do a live business coaching today, right? So let's share this live.
Hey, Garnet, I am doing great. How are
How are you
you?
doing, Natalia? How are you doing today?
Thank
I'm
you.
doing wonderful also, right? Welcome. All right, I'm gonna share this live with a bunch of persons out there to see if we can, let
Okay,
persons
no
have a
problem.
little insight of what we're talking about here, right? So let me just share this live out with a few persons out there. All right, cool. So send separately. So Natalia, how are
It's
you
going
doing?
okay. It's
Live and
going
direct.
really
How's your day
good.
going so far?
I'm alive and well. I am grateful to be alive. Yeah, blessings. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm doing wonderful myself. So you told me that, hey, you know what? You're transitioning out of
Correct.
the job world and you want to get into the entrepreneurship world, right? And we want to start off this coaching session, right, by asking you, like, what's the reason why you want to leave the, job world and get
There
into the
are a lot of
entrepreneurship space?
reasons.
Let us know the
First and
reason why.
foremost, I am a mom, and one where I am alone majority of the time. So I am unable to get things done the way I want to get it done, right? And I find that a 9 to 5 is taking away
Yes.
so much from me. And I personally feel driven from a longer time to get my own thing started. I just didn't get that, that oomph to get up and go out and do it. But, since having my son, I realized that, you know what, probably working for persons might not be for me. So I need to do something that will help me to have more time for him, make more time for myself and for my future family, because I'm planning on
Yes.
the whole family works and stuff. I want to have time for my family. I want to be the one to
100%.
make my time. I feel really what's the word, I feel really stuck in other person's time zone instead of being able to move forward in my own time. Like I have to be, it's like I'm confined in other person's time. Just working for persons, it's just not for me. It probably work for other persons, but it's really not working out for me.
And
So I just want to give this a shot, really, really good shot.
wonderful. Wonderful. So based on what I'm hearing from you, right? What I've got from you, you need time for your son. You need time for yourself, right? You don't want to be confined to the job itself, right?
Right.
They basically tell you what to do, when you can eat, when you can use the bathroom, all of this stuff, right? And you need more freedom for yourself, right? And just to let you know, Natalia, right? At the end of the day, entrepreneurship, it gives you that freedom, but it's not that easy because with a job, at least you know that, hey, I have a particular amount of money coming in every week or every 2 weeks or every month. So it's set, right? But with entrepreneurship, it's like a roller coaster. It goes up, it goes down. So this month or this, like a couple months, like 3, 4 months, you might be making a lot of money. The next 3 months, you might not be making any money, right? So just to let you know, but entrepreneurship does give you that freedom. Once you are, you get the mindset and you say, you know what, this is what I really want to do, right? This is where I
Mhm.
want to go. Guess what? You can make it, right? So at the end of the day, you have to just have that resilience within you. And another thing again, you have to know who you listen to. One of the first things about success, because as you're transitioning into this entrepreneurship space, people are gonna come around you and tell you, so why you leave your regular job, right? You have that security, right? You have these benefits, right? And here's the thing, a lot of persons don't know those benefits that the job is taking from you. You can basically apply for those benefits for yourself, right? And it's probably going to cost you a little bit cheaper, right? And if you have a business, those expenses, right, because they're expenses, you can write them off. with a W-2 job or a 9 to 5, right? You can't write off certain expenses. So with a business, it gives you more leverage, right? And here's the thing, right? We always operate with OPM, others people money, right? If you work in a regular 9 to 5 job, yes, you can, if you have a good credit, you can go get certain money, right? If you have a really, really good job, you have certain, limitations though, right? With a business, right, there's not really a limitation, right? It all depends on the cash flow that you bring in and the revenue that you're bringing in, right? And here's the thing, you can always apply for those loans, right? And those loans, right, basically you can write them off, right? Because guess what, when you get those loans, you don't pay any taxes on it, right? So there's a whole lot of different nuances to entrepreneurship, right? So you say you want to get started, right? First and foremost, what is this business, right? You don't have to go too much into the detail, but I just want to have an understanding of what type of business
Right.
are we
I'm
talking
a
about so I
farm
can know
girl.
how best to
A
help you.
farm. It's my biggest dream to have my own
Wonderful,
farm.
wonderful.
I was grown on one. I saw my granddad and my grandma going through a lot, and I saw what it really did for them. And I think that's where my passion grew from. I have so many, so much knowledge growing up, and that's where my heart is. So yeah, I'm a farm girl.
Mhm.
So it's in the farming area.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of persons don't know this about farming, but back in before the industrial revolution, right? Farming was, the richest people in the world, they were all farmers, right? Then the industrial revolution came in where the persons who had the machines. But here's the thing, with farming and land, right? There's a lot of different tax breaks. A lot of persons don't know this, right? So for example, you have a land, right? Not only you're gonna be growing your stuff, right? And you're gonna be, providing food because food is one of the necessities that everyone needs, right? You need food, shelter, clothing, water, right? So if you're providing food, you're in an industry that's basically recession proof. That's another thing. So if you're in the farming space, right, COVID wouldn't impact you that much, right? Compared to other persons out there who are not into that space, right? Plus there's a thing called easement, right? Where if you have the land and say JPS, right? Because you're in Jamaica, right? JPS or any other public company uses your property, right, or your land to put light poles or any, structure, you can get a tax write-off for that, right? The benefits. And even say the government builds a road, right? You can get a payout from the government plus a tax break again. So farming is really, really good, right? And it's in the top 10 of what can make you really, really rich, right? Look at the Microsoft guy, right? He is the biggest landowner in the entire world. He has 260, don't quote me on it, 260 something thousand, acres of land, right? Why is he doing this, right? Why is he buying up all
Yes.
this land, right? Because guess what? He knows that those who control the land control the money. So you're definitely transitioning into a space that's really, really needed, right? Because you're going to be providing food, right? So you're a farm girl, right? On the farm, what are you going to be
Starting off
putting?
with
Vegetables?
livestock,
Are you going to put in livestock?
livestock
What are we
first,
talking
and then
about,
I venture off into, ground foods.
right?
My main focus right now is
All
livestock.
right, cool, cool, cool. So let's get the basis of it, right? So livestock. So probably you're gonna be
Chicken,
doing like
eggs,
cattle, or you're gonna be doing some chickens, or you're gonna be doing some eggs, right? Somewhere in that dynamics, right? So there's a basis where you can go on where setting up your business is concerned. So it doesn't really matter where you're located because there's those key fundamentals, right, that you need to set up a business, right? So whether you're in Jamaica, Canada, United States, these are the non-negotiables that you have to do, right? So the first thing before you even start your business and start to spend money, right, you have to do a little market research, right? Know what this industry entails, right? What are the costs of goods
I'm
sold,
writing.
right? What are You're writing it down? All right, wonderful. So what are the costs of goods sold, right? How much would it cost me to say purchase like fences, purchase wood, right? If you're building like a wood structure, purchase like concrete blocks and all these things. So you have to know the cost of goods sold, right? And how much are you gonna be selling? What is the market, right? How much is this product being sold for in the market? So at least you can basically analyze from there your profit and loss and saying, All right, cool. So if it costs me $100, right? If it costs me $100 to do this, right? How much can I sell it for? And what's the profit margin? Like, what is the margin? How much money am I going to make, right? So that's one of the first things you have to do. You have to do like a market analysis to see if there's a need for this. Well, livestock, no matter what, chickens, right? People eat chicken every day, right? At the end of the day. And eggs, people need eggs every day. If you're doing cattle, people basically, you know, eat cattle, right? Beef, right? So at the end of the day, there's a need for it. So that's a plus for you. So let's go to the business side now, right? So one of the first things is setting up your business structure, right? And you have to analyze, all right, so I'm going to venture into this entrepreneurship. You have to start from you personally. Personally, you have to know, because you're going to be the business owner, right? So personally, you have to say, okay, what are my personal expenses right now? And what is my income? So you're going to analyze, say, okay, this is how much I owe, right? These are my debts, and over here, these are my income streams, right? So you have to analyze that, right? And if your expenses supersede your income, you have to find a way how to reduce your expenses, because you're going to be the business owner. You are going to basically be fueling the business. So you have to get that seed money unless you have an investor, right? So that's the first thing. So you can't venture into business if you do not have the money, right? Because business requires money no matter what they tell you. You need money for business, right? So that's one of the first things. And then now we're going to go into the structure, right? Where you're going to have to choose what type of business. I'm going to be opening a sole proprietor, right? Or for persons in the US, right? Because we have US persons here at LLC, or in Canada, you know, another sole proprietorship, right? So you have to know, all right, am I going to do a sole proprietor? Am I going to do a partnership? Am I going to do a corporation? Based on the level, the corporations are all the best because you have good tax breaks, but you have to set up a structure based on where you are. So if you have to start off as a sole proprietor for right now, right, although it's not the best, because guess what, as a sole proprietor, you're taking all the risk. So if something happens and someone is going to sue you, right, and are they going to sue the business, you're going to take that hit because you're not fully protected. While a corporation is a separate entity, you can offer, you know, there's protection offered within a corporation. But at the end of the day, you have to start form, right? You have to start off at where you are at. So you can start off as a sole proprietor, right? So the first thing, you gotta basically, you know, go to the Companies Office of Jamaica and do your filing, right? Don't be like other persons who say start a business, right, and just do it off the bat, right? Because here's the thing: once you start to develop cash flow, right, you're gonna have the opportunity to get funding from banks and other institutions and other investors. Because guess what? People who are investors, they want to see your profit and loss statement, your income statement. They want to see the cash flow. They want to see the money come in and out. But if you don't have any structure, right, you can't really get any funding, right? And the bank analyze this again. So the first thing, well, not the first thing, the second thing, after you basically choose what entity you want to set up, right? And in your case right now, you can go with a sole proprietor for right now, but eventually you're going to have to go to a corporation so you can get some protection, right? And the tax breaks are better for the corporation. Cool. So after you do that, right, you're gonna move towards, so okay, I'm gonna open a business bank account. You're gonna go to the Companies Office of Jamaica, right, and then you're gonna do your filings, right? You can get your own accountant, right, or you can just get somebody with tax profession knowledge, right? So you can get like a tax professional, or you can get an accountant, right? And then from there, you can basically start your business, right? So you start your sole proprietor, you get your bank account, right? And then what's the next step now, right? After you set up your entity, then you have to go out and go get funding, right? And right now you have to utilize your money, right? So now you're gonna basically find your vendors, right? So where I'm gonna get the chickens from, where I'm gonna get the cattle from, right? So that's another thing. So you have to know, okay, so where do I get my stock from? So that's the next thing you have to go about researching, and you have to research the different vendors out there, right? Because you have to see which one. You have to know how much money are you going to make, right? You want to basically know that, okay, this one costs this amount and you want to get the cheapest starting out, right? Sometimes quality is always better than quantity, but you have to do the analysis, right? You have to do testing. You have to test people saying, okay, do they provide quality chickens? Do they provide quality livestock, right? And then you can basically also, hear word of mouth, right? You can go around the community, right, and ask, okay, are these animals, right, from this person, what's going on, right? Is he giving them artificial stuff, right? Are they more
Right.
organic, right? 'Cause that's another thing that we have to look into again, right? So that's another thing you have to analyze, right? Where I'm gonna get the products from, right? So after you do that, the next step is basically, okay, so now I have my livestock, right? I have my structure. Hi, so how are you doing? 100%. All right. So sorry about that. So after you have like your livestock, you have your structure, your property, right? No, we have to go find customers. Who am I going to sell my business, like my products to? So that's the next thing again. So you have to go do another market research, right? So now you have to say, okay, all right, can I get a deal with Jamaica Boilers, right? Because with Jamaica Boilers, probably they have an influx of chicken, and sometimes they have different like customers. You can probably provide Jamaican Boilers with chickens, right? If you're in the chicken industry, let us just use chickens for example. You can probably provide them with chickens, although they have their own chicken farm, right? Or you can go to the local restaurants and then go by word of mouth. So you're gonna do some organic advertising, right? You're gonna do some organic customer acquisition. So you're gonna go to the local restaurants and you're gonna say, hey, I have this business, I'm selling chickens, right? You're gonna go to all of them, right? And for the eggs, you can do the same, right? So for the eggs, you can target restaurants, you can target homeowners, you can target bakeries, because a lot of bakeries, they use a lot of eggs, right? So you can basically utilize Google, right? You can Google all the different restaurants in your area. You can Google all the different factories, bakeries. You can even, start to speak to family members, right? And then you're going to be doing affiliate marketing where you can say, hey, with my family members, if they advertise my business for me, you give them a commission off of it, right? So we did organic advertising right there. Then we do all of the affiliate right there, right? Before you go to like Facebook ads and YouTube ads and the real marketing world, let's see if you can make some revenue first. So that's an advice I would give to you, where you would basically go in and do some organic work first, right? Do some leg work, right? Go out, reach out to people, right? In your contacts, right? Call everybody saying, hey, right? Can can this can this business, okay, 100% so, right? Can this I lost my chain of thought. Sorry about that. So what I was saying, right? You're gonna go to all the persons in your phone, right? You're gonna call everybody, right? There's two things you're gonna categorize them as, right? Is either they're gonna be a customer or they're gonna be a person who you can get information from. So they're either gonna be a customer or a lead, right? A lead or a customer. So you're gonna call everyone in your phone and say, hey, I have this business going on, right? Do you need any eggs? Do you need any chicken, right? Can you support, right? It's not begging, right? But at the end of the day, right, you are the business owner. You have to get rid of that negative connotation that's in your mind. So I'm begging, right? You have to go out, right, and advertise your business, because it's what's gonna make you financially free, right? So remember, they're either gonna be a lead or they're gonna be a customer. So that's on the customer side, right? And if they say, okay, you know what, I don't know anything, I don't know nobody, I don't want any, right? Tell them, okay, so do you know anybody? If they say, guess what, I don't know anybody, always offer incentive. Because here's the thing, people out there, they always want some kind of incentive. So for me, I always, when I reach out to persons, I say, hey, can you advertise or do this for me? And I'll give you this, right? If I get some client acquisition, right? If I get clients, right, I'll give you this. So that's something that I always start off with. Not all the time. It all depends on the relationship you have with the person. But again, go in your phone and call everybody, every single body. Is either they're gonna be a customer, or they're going to basically be a lead, right? And that's how you can, bring on some revenue, right? And here's the thing, when you're calling them, right, if they say, hey, I know somebody, get that person's number, or you can get that person's email address. So now you can basically call that person in the event they don't do it for you, or you can email them, right? So now we're going into the more technicalities of text marketing and email marketing. So this is another way how you can do it instead of, setting up like ClickFunnels or a Kartra website or a
Right.
Shopify website, right? Because at this point you're just starting off, right? You don't have that revenue as yet to utilize these platforms, right? And that's how you go. And there's another thing called influencer marketing, right? Miss Kitty, right? If you're making enough revenue where you can speak to, say, Miss Kitty, and she can do a publication for you, can do that, right? So another thing is influencer marketing, right? So you can go on your phone, right? And you can Google all the different influencers who are in the food industry, right? So you're gonna Google persons who are in the baking industry, Google persons who are in the farming industry, and reach out to them, give them an incentive, right? And then from there, you can get leads again, and you can probably get customers, right? So this is you basically using your own efforts, right? You're not using any bots, you're not going to be using any Facebook or YouTube ad. And from that, I tell you a lot, you can generate a whole lot of revenue, right? So that's the marketing strategy for you. So let's go over it again before we go into anything deeper, right? So the first thing, you're gonna do your market analysis. That's the thing, right? Is there a need for what I do, right? You are in a recession-proof industry. People have to eat, right? So that's a check for you, right? Next thing, you have to analyze your expenses, right? Analyze your expenses and know that, okay, can I afford to do this? Can I do this right now? Right? What amount of chickens can I buy? What amount of cattle can I buy? Right? What amount of raw materials can I buy? Right? So you have to do that analysis, right? You're gonna do your cost basis, right? All of these things, right? And here's the thing: once you do it, right, it makes it easy for you to acquire an investor, right? Because the investor is gonna ask, "So let me see your books." That's the first thing the investor is gonna ask you. Let me see your books, right? But if, for example, you don't have like the technical knowledge to get an accountant to do it in the form, you can say, you know what, write it down, right? This is what I paid for something. This is what I'm going to sell it for. This is my profit margin, right? Right? That's like an income statement, cost of goods sold based on the expenses, based on the expenditure, and the revenue expected, right? So if you don't have that technical knowledge, so never let anything stop you from doing it. You will get there eventually, right? Do it raw on a paper. Write down how much I'm going to purchase for this. How much does this cost, right? How much are you going to sell it for? What is your profit margin, right? And then eventually you can elevate to an accountant where you can get things professional. But sometimes you just got to do it ugly, right? So after you analyze your expenses, right, and your income, right, you move to the business structure where you're going to get your company's office license, right? You're going to get your bank account, open your bank account, right? Because we want to do it the legal way. People always avoid paying taxes. So taxes can help you because at least the government can identify, okay, so this person is actually contributing to society. And with a business, you have so many different tax breaks.
You mentioned having an
right?
accountant.
Go ahead.
What if you have some knowledge in accounting yourself? Do you have to hire an accountant or you can do it yourself?
No, no. No, for me, I'm my own accountant. Listen, my accountants, I tell them what to do. Because here's the thing. The thing with accounting is when you do your accounting and you make a mistake, the government is going to say, okay, you commit fraud. But when you use an accountant or a representative and they make a mistake, it's a mistake. So that's the real reason why I use an accountant, right? There's other, depending on, the structure of the business and how much money you're making, then you're going to really need an accountant to do certain stuff. But that's the thing that you have to know. Like, if you do your own thing and make mistakes, the government says, oh, you tried to commit fraud. And we don't want to do that, right? So if you have the accounting knowledge, you can work with your accountant or you can direct them, because some accountants, right, honestly, they just don't know what to do, right? If you're saying, hey, I'm making this amount, because I'm in that situation where I made a lot of money. And I'm like, okay, I'm in the 40% tax bracket right now. So I'm like, I haven't filed my taxes. So I'm like, I need a good accountant right now to help me out because I know all the different tax breaks, right? I'm gonna try to use amortization, right? That's another term for depreciation where you can, because I wrote a book, right? So I can use amortization from the valuation of it to see if I can write off some taxes, right? I'm gonna write off my gas, my car, my rent, everything. So I'm just trying to figure out all the different tax breaks, but a lot of accountants out there do not have the information. So now we move from an accountant to a tax strategist, right? So I did my own research, right? So now, because I've done so much research, I can also advise my accountant. So guess what? I do tax strategy now, right? So that's the same issue I had, right? So once you reach to certain levels, then you're gonna be required to either move from you doing it personally to an accountant to a tax strategist, right? Tax strategist is basically the highest level to me, right? Because most tax strategists are accountants too, right? So after we set up like the company's office and we set up the business structure, sole proprietor, remember at some point in time, once you cross certain levels, right, you're gonna incorporate your company. So now you can also set up franchises, right? Because that's another thing again, right? Once your brand is established and it's a name, now we can move from one parish to a next, right? And then you give somebody your business blueprint and they pay you for it, right?
It's an
That's
option.
franchising, right? So
It's
that's
an
another thing
option.
for you. So we have to think big. We're not just, hmm? It it is an option, right? You're not gonna do it right now, but I'm just letting you know so your mind can, be blown up and saying, okay, I have this. At some point in time, I want to stop working in my business. No, once I'm making certain revenue, I can hire a CEO, right? Or a COO, right? Or a chairman or somebody to come in so you can go out and enjoy, right, the luxuries of your hard work, right? And then from there, you want to do expansion, right? Because once you're expanding, you want to generate more revenue. So I'm just telling you that right now so you can have a bigger vision, right? Just don't limit yourself to where you
Right.
are at right now. But let's just go back to the structure, right? So after you set up your business, your accounting and all that stuff, now we're going towards, your distributors, your vendors, right? Where can I get these things a little bit cheaper? But that should have been in your market analysis also, again, where you still have to go through it again, right? There's more than one times you're gonna go through different parts. So basically you're setting up your business plan,
Yeah.
but I'm just giving it to you piece by piece so you know what to put in your business plan. Okay, it doesn't make sense I go to business plan off the bat and then I confuse you, right? So I'm giving you piece by piece, and then all this you're gonna put together to formulate your
Right.
business plan, and this is what investors want, right? And then in your business plan, the key element is the marketing strategy, right? How are you gonna market? 'Cause a lot of persons want to know, okay,
Yeah.
how are you going to get this product out there, right? So a lot of persons run from being a sales, right? So people say, I don't want to sell, I don't want to sell. Listen, selling is one of the highest paid industry. Like you have to sell, right? No matter what. So I'm letting you know right now, you're venturing into the entrepreneurship world, right? You have to sell. You have to be able to talk, articulate yourself, right? Right? Don't shy away from it. Yes, you're gonna get rejection. So that's where the mindset piece comes in again, and that's why I always tell persons you're gonna need a little coach. You're gonna need somebody there to keep you accountable, to keep you still going, because entrepreneurship can really, really be hard, right? And if you don't have the right mindset, you don't have the right people around you, then guess what? You can lose, right? Sometimes you just need somebody just to give you an encouraging word. Sometimes, you just are in a little funk, right? And you just need someone to just say, hey, you know what? I went through this. This is what I did. And then that can help give you a strength, right? Because mindset is really, really something that's really, really good, right? So even after you're making the money, you still have to get your mind right, because guess what? People are going to come at you. Family members are going to come at you. Life is going to come and pressure you. So I'm just gearing you up for it. But entrepreneurship is a beautiful thing, right? So that's the business structure right there, right? That's what you can do to start off your business, right? And once you start to generate revenue, now we can go into other elements like setting up your website, right? So now you can do some e-commerce, right? So now persons can order online and then you're doing a delivery service, right? But there's not a lot you can do right now as a single director, right? You can do an online orders and then you're doing in-person orders, right? So as the business progress, I'm just giving you what you need, giving you the full blueprint, right? You can have that e-commerce section where now persons can order online and then you can set up a delivery service to deliver to them, right? You can have ads running, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, right? Influencer ads. So that's how you're gonna scale, right? And from there, you can do the ultimate thing, attract an investor and always have an exit plan,
Yeah.
right? I know this business is gonna be your baby, right? It's gonna be your newborn, right? You're gonna love it so much, but always have an exit strategy because the goal is financial freedom, right? Don't attach your emotions too much to it because the business is gonna stress you out and opportunities are gonna come your way, right? So if an opportunity comes your way, yes, the valuation might be a whole lot more, but based on your current situation, based on your ability, can you function? Can you manage this business? Always have an exit plan where you're gonna say, you know what? Well, I started off at $100,000. My business is now valued at $100,000, right? If it values say 10 million, right? How much X is that, right? You see the zeros? So you can always have an exit plan and you can basically sell that business. And now what you're going to do with the extra money is invest into other businesses where now you're making profits and you're not doing any work. So I'm just giving you a whole roadmap, right? So you start off from the nitty gritty, right? Then you establish your business, right? Then you sell it and now you're an investor, right? That's the position you want to be. So now we're living from, famous Robert Kiyosaki has, the E quadrant, S quadrant, B quadrant, I quadrant, right? E is for employee. That's where we're moving from right now because you say, you know what, you're tired of the job. We're going to the S quadrant, right? So the S quadrant, right, you are going to be that business owner. You're the sole proprietor, right? And then once you expand, you go to the B where now you can set up the franchising as we were talking about, right? And then after you say, you know what, I'm making a lot of money. Now you can start investing into other businesses. You can buy businesses, or you can just set up another whole entire business because you already know the groundwork. And that's the game plan for you. Like literally. I know it sounds like a lot, but once you do it piece by piece, I hope you were taking notes, right? You can go out and start to establish your business. Yeah. No matter what. Remember, I tell you again, you're in a recession proof business, right? Don't forget that. If another COVID comes, people have to eat. Have to, right? Farming, you get tax breaks for it. It's just that the government doesn't tell persons about this, but tax breaks are in the farming industry. They have the largest amount of tax breaks. So you have to get a good strategist again, right? And as a business coach, right, as I said, my thing is just giving you this game free of cost, right? But as you level up, right, as you get that revenue coming in, right, then, you can hit me up and say, okay, Garnet, I'm ready to scale my business. Now I'm ready to set up business structures, advertising. Now I'm ready to set up an ecosystem, and then we can start with some coaching from there. But I'm just letting you know right now, like, hey, you can
Would
start where you
you,
want. Do it
yeah,
ugly,
sure. Would
right?
you
Do it
say
ugly.
it's a good
Have any
idea
question?
to work with someone in the beginning process? How safe is that? How safe is working with someone in the beginning process?
All right. So I always say this, right? It's your business. Someone else, they see it as an opportunity for something, right? So if it's not like you're starting off with someone, right? I always say build it first, establish your business, and have that person as an investor, right? Have that person putting in certain amount of money, and then you give them that money with a return, right? That's what I would say to you. But it all depends on where you want to go because if you see that, hey, you need an influx of money, right? At the end of the day, you're gonna need an investor. So it's not a straightforward answer. It all depends on the dynamics of your business. Because sometimes you need that partner to help you with the workload. But the thing is, if that partner is just seeing this as a money ticket, that's not a good partner. But if this person sees the vision and they see that, hey, they can actually be a part of this and they can build something large with you, then that's a good person, right? And here's what I'm gonna do for you today, Natalia. As I'm gonna give you around 2 to 3 months, right, just to get everything rolling, and then you can come back to me, and I'll be an investor for you,
Thank you so
right?
much. I
I'll come and
appreciate
I'll
it.
invest into your business, right? Because I do see the need where at the end of the day, 100%, right? But I want to see like where you are at, right? I want to see your profit and loss statement, your income statement. I want to see all the information that I'm giving you right now. I want to see you apply it, right? And then after there, right, I'll be an
This is
investor. I
where
probably can
contracts
invite
will
somebody
come in,
else. Let's see
right?
what's going on, right? Have any more questions? There you go again, right? After you are established, now you can start reaching out to the hotels, right? Thinking about it, say you have a contract with sandals, right? You're supplying the sandals, right? Think about how much money that is. Big established brand sandals, right? There's so many hotels, right? You have Couples Swept Away, that's another. You have AM Resorts. AM Resorts is a big international company. Imagine you are supplying all these companies. Listen, one check is more than 7 figures, right? You're in Jamaica, right? So they're gonna pay you in US dollars, and that's another strategy again, right? I would say to you, with certain elements of your business, charge in the US, right? Don't charge the local dollar because some of the like expenses are gonna be
Right.
attracted, or they're gonna be in US dollars, so you want to have that currency also. So that's when you're scaling though. But for right now, I'm just letting you know, just do it ugly, start where you are at, and as the business progress, then you go into different dynamics where you know you have your US account where you can start supplying to like Caribbean islands, right? And another thing again, right? You have to always mitigate for risks where larceny is concerned. People are gonna try to steal your stuff. So I always, yeah. So you have to put that risk in because the world is negative, but at the end of the day, we have to live in it either way, and always put that risk where, all right. So this is the amount I'm willing to risk. Like, if anything happens at this level, then I know I'm good, right? You want to try to mitigate it as much as possible, but I'm not gonna just let you go win and don't tell you that, hey, some people might try to steal your stuff. Some people might try to burn down your stuff. Like once they see you expanding, and that's something that you have to prepare again. And that's what I tell persons: insurance,
What
right?
stage?
Insure
At what
everything,
stage do you
every
recommend?
single
Sorry for
thing. So
cutting
if
you.
anything happens,
At
you
what
have some
stage do
money
you
in there.
recommend insurance?
Go ahead. Insurance, right? Once you start making some money, because here's the thing: you have to prove to the insurance that you are insurable, right? If your business is not making any money, why should the insurance insure you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking
Yeah.
about personal insurance. I'm talking about like business insurance, right? So if they see that this business is not making any money, you can't really insure it, right? Because they have to. The insurance company is not just gonna insure the business for millions of dollars where there's no value. And another thing that you can do to hedge against everything is you get personal insurance, right? So if anything happens to you as the business owner, as a director, right, you can get paid out, right? And that's why for me, like in this financial industry that I'm in as a business coach, right, I am also have I have a license in insurance and investments, right? Because I see the need for it, right? I see the need. I can help myself and I can help my clients and I can help persons out there. Because here's the thing, as a business owner, right? You're the one doing all the work. If anything happens to you, the business stops, right? So that's why you have to set up like a critical illness, right? Where critical illness is like if anything happens to you, like you get diagnosed with cancer, right? It's gonna stress you out, right? With critical illness, they can give you a payout, right?
Right.
Right? Sickness is something that you cannot prevent, right? So at the end of the day, you want to have yourself protected. You have something called disability, where if, for example, you break your hand, right, you can't work for right now in your business. The insurance companies can pay you out, so at least you have some revenue coming in. Because remember, if you can't work, your business won't generate any money, right? So you need that money coming in. So on a personal level, I always tell persons, right, insure yourself. Like for me, I made sure I did that because I'm the business owner. I'm the director. If I feel
Right.
sick tomorrow, if anything happens to me, right, no more revenues coming in. So insure yourself personal, but you need business insurance also. Yeah.
Well,
So
those are
more
pretty.
questions?
I have a whole page of stuff here, a whole page, and I really appreciate you taking the time to give me all
Well,
this information because even though I have some information, of course, these are much more than what I have. So I will definitely take you up on that offer within a few months' time. I definitely need help though to go over
100%.
this
Take your
whole
time.
structure thing.
And
So
Well, the audience is here, right? I have no problem giving you a live coaching session online, right? Just to let persons know what's going on. So at the end of the day, I'm not just fronting or talking. Are, I am doing what I say that I'm doing. So we can always do another live where, once you execute it on the information that I give you, we can always go over some of the stuff again. And you can, tap in back with me, right? And I'll, advise you as much as I can, right? I'll give you the information. I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm not gonna hold back anything from you, right? So that's just it, right? There's certain limitations to it because as a business coach, right, we do value our time, right? At the end of the day, right? So, there's a limitation at some point in time. I'm not gonna be, going around you. I'm gonna let you know what's up, straight up. So, but at the end of the day, if you have like a question, right, why not, right? Because you have to understand that, hey, this guy has some value, and at the end of the day, if people don't pay, they don't pay attention, right? They don't, put in the work. That's what I always say. So, but I'm not saying anything right now. I want to get you making some money, right? I want to get you to start generating some revenue. Once the revenue is coming, it's going to boost you, right? And then it's going to build your confidence more, right? So that's where I want you to do, right? And here's the thing again, there's some key things about success, right? The first principle I've learned, right, in certain organizations that I'm affiliated with is who you listen to. Listen to the people who have the information you need and who are in a position where you were, right? So let me say it again. Listen to the persons who have the information you need and who were in a position where you were. I was at the bottom. I'm not saying I'm at the top, but I'm at some level, right? Yeah. Cool. But you have to know this. So people are gonna talk. You're gonna go to different persons. Be careful. That's the next thing. And the next thing, your teachability index, right? You have to be teachable. You have to be coachable. I'm giving you this information. If you're not applying it, right, you can't expect anything to change within your life. Doesn't make sense. You take the information and do nothing with it. You have to be teachable. So you have to know that, hey, I'm gonna take this information and I'm gonna apply it. So you will change. There's certain dynamics that's gonna change about you, right? So those two steps, they basically enable your success 100%. So I'm just letting you know, like, who you listen to, and you have to be teachable and coachable, right? We can go into the other steps, right? But those are deeper with regards to the mindset, right? Right? But here's the thing, I want you to execute. You have to execute first, right? I want you to execute on the information. So the next time, we're not just talking about, hey, you're going to do this, you're going to do this. You can say to me, okay, Garnet, I've done this. What do I do next? That's the conversation. That's the conversation. 100%. So I do hope this information was really helpful to you, right? And go out and establish your business, right? Entrepreneurship, right? You have more control over your time. You have control over your money. You don't have no boss telling you what to do, when to eat, when to use a bathroom, all that stuff, right? Yes, a job might give you some seed money. So if you, and here's the thing with entrepreneurship again, just to let you know, sometimes you may run out of money. So if you need to get a quick job just to get some seed money, do it. Like for me, at one point in time, like I was doing coaching because I'm trying to get certain high level information, right? And I run out of money. I ain't gonna lie. I run out of money. So I'm like, damn, I have no money. So what I did, I got out of the 9 to 5 job, get some money, put it back in my business, and I'm back again on my feet. So don't really discredit a job. You use the job for seed money. You use the job to get some influx of cash, right? So if there's any point where you're in your business and you're at the fund, you say, hey, you need some extra money. If you don't have an investor, get a job, right? Get that money, put it in your business, right? So don't discredit your job on a whole, right? You can utilize it. Just use it for the seed money because they're utilizing you, right? The business owners are utilizing you. When you're at that point, you're going to be utilizing workers, right? That's the process, right? So at the end of the day, this is the information, right? And, I really commend you for taking this step to come on live, right? Being vulnerable enough to, say, hey, I need help, right? And yeah, like I'm looking forward to see where you go with this, literally, right? Your success is my 100%. So I just hope you execute on the information, Miss Rhule. And yeah, we'll go for it from there.
That you had
All right? Any more questions?
talk to me on such a level and to hear me and to give so much advice. I'm just really grateful. You know, I'm always seeking information, like what you said about asking the right persons. You have to be careful about who you go to with your business ideas and so forth, because I've been really reserved on who I talk to about this. You know I have to talk to somebody because I'm new to it, but you know, it's just to find the right persons to have conversations with, because you have some really negative persons, and sometimes those negative persons are sleeping in your bed, coming over to your house. Yes, sometimes those persons are the ones who tell you, no, you can't do it, no, you need to do a 9 to 5. I'm like, I'm not saying that a 9 to 5 is not good, but I'm just saying it doesn't work for everybody. And but it certainly doesn't work for me. It doesn't.
I always say, use the statement. Robert Kiyosaki always say that we should always say, how can we do it? Don't say I cannot, right? Say, how can I do this, right? And once you start to speak to yourself, right? And this is where mindset comes in again. Once you start to speak to yourself positively, you surround yourself around positive people, right? Then definitely you can succeed, right?
Right.
Right now, today, I launched a program called the Profit Room, right? Where I'm gonna be coaching. I'm gonna be inviting some of my successful friends to come in and give persons the game, right? And here's the thing, Miss Rhule, right? I basically started off at $7, right? The entry fee is $7 for a 7-day trial, right? So at the end of the day, no one has any excuses, and then it's $47 every month, right? So I'm giving persons the chance to come in to see if this is something that they want to learn about. I was in the cryptocurrency industry, right? I am in the cryptocurrency industry, so I even put my course in it, right? I gave the persons 3 modules free where they can get started off, right? Because they want to get the right information. So I said, you know what? Let me give persons this, right? I put reading materials within it, right? I'm going to be coming in, I'm going to be giving you. And here's the thing, you can come in that group and ask questions, right? Just like what we're doing here. You're going to be able to ask questions. And here's the thing, within that group, right, somebody else might ask a question that answers the question that you were going to ask, right? So it's called the Profit Room, right? I just launched it today. I did a broadcast and everything, right? And, you know, I would advise you to join. It's $7, $7, right? If you can't invest $7 in yourself, I don't know, right? $7, right, for 7 days trial, right? That's lunch money, right? $7. I think in Jamaican it's like $1,000, right? That's box food money, would call it,
Yeah,
right?
the furniture.
That's corner food money, right? Just for you to come in
Sure.
and, you know, get some self-development. The Profit Room, right? So on the internet, but
The
it's not
profit room.
THE, it's DE. So the Profit Room, right? DEPROFITROOM.com, right? And I would advise you to get into it. You can basically promote it to persons also. Let them know that, hey, you see the value that's right here. Imagine you're in there, you're seeing everything, you have the replays, right? You can ask me more personal or deeper questions, right? Because there's certain stuff we can't really communicate on here, right? In the Profit Room, right? You have me right there giving you the information you need on a whole another level, yo. It's just different. And I reduced the price to $7. $7, you come in. And then after 7 days, it's $47 a month, right? Come in, get the information you need, right? And then you just go ahead and apply it. Remember, execution. Does make sense? You take the info and don't apply it. So I beg you, please apply this
Sure. And
information.
I'll
So
definitely
you can
share
go
this
ahead
with
and join
my
the Profit
friends.
Room, right? Like DEPRO and for the audience. Yeah, definitely. And for the audience out there, guys, it's launched today. www.theprofitroom.com, DEPROFITROOM.com, the Profit Room, where you can go in, right? You can get the information you need. There's like-minded persons that are going to be in that membership, right? Because guess what? We have to surround ourselves with people who have like mind, create that mastermind, as the great Napoleon Hill said in his book, you know, Think and Grow Rich, right? We have to create that mastermind. So now you're going to be around like-minded you're going to be around like-minded people. You're going to be around the right information, right? I'm going to be giving you some secrets that the rich doesn't really tell you, because I'm around them, right? And they share some stuff that would blow your mind. There's some things that are just in your face, but it's just because we don't have the right information, right? We don't know how to apply because they're not gonna teach you because they don't believe in they believe in competition and they don't believe in sharing the information because they don't want competition, right? But competition is good. So that's what I would say to you. You know, the profit room is there for you also as a support, right? If you can't get to me all the time, so you know, join it. I would say to you, right? And you come in and you know apply the information you get, and that's it for you today. You know, like literally. So hope this was good for you. For the audience out there, if you're watching this, right, you can contact GarnetJr if you want to, you know, level up, right? If you want that business coaching one-on-one, right? You know, you can definitely, you know, hit me up and we can talk, or you can join the profit room where at least you're in the membership, right? And you're getting a feel of what's going on, right? So guys, you know, you can definitely do that, right? Or say you don't want to do any investment like that. I have my book out called Small Boy Big Profits. You can tap it on Instagram, not on Instagram, but the link on Instagram, you can click the link on Instagram and it will redirect it to the website, or you can go on Amazon. It's available on Amazon. And for those who are in Jamaica, it's available on Fantana Pharmacy, right, in Tabanamar and in Halfway Tree, right? Small but big profit. So, you know, there's resources out there, and I love this. I love to just communicate this information because I believe people need to make the money. You know, God has blessed me to get this information, and now it's time for me to share it with people. So if you want it, you get it right here. So again, Natalia, thank you so much for, you know, coming in and being vulnerable and, you know, receiving this information.
Thank you for having
Being
me, and
vulnerable.
my background
Hey,
is
I
probably
need
a bit
help.
noisy,
All
but
right.
it's the person who is motivating me to do all this.
It's okay. 100%. So, you
Thank
know,
you
we'll
so
connect
much.
again.
Enjoy your
So,
day.
you know, see
Bye.
you soon. All right.